The dog is under the bed eating something that she probably really shouldn't be eating. If you hear strange sounds coming from around the room, it's my small dog being a bit of an ass and chewing everything she can. So I'm just leaving her to it. If you'd have watched my other videos or you follow me on Twitter, you'd know that I do suffer with depression alongside other mental illnesses, and particularly this past week I've been in a depressive episode. I think today is the 5th day that I've been stuck in depression. For people with depression, it's one of those illnesses that never just go away. It has good days and bad days, and good periods and bad periods, so you could go for a very long time without having a depressive episode. You could, I'm going to say relapse, I don't know what you would call it. You could relapse back into a depressive episode. And for me, my depression is always kind of there, and I have it every now and then where, like, some days I can't get out of bed, or even if it's just half a day or whatever. But then every couple of months I have a serious depressive episode, which lasts for anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. Today is day 5, like I said. You might have to be a bit patient with me for this video because I'm not really with it. I know making this video is going to take a lot out of me, but like I said, it's the reason I made this channel was to raise awareness of mental illness and how it can make you, and this is just how it can make you sometimes. I get frustrated that the media and society perceive depression to be, I don't know, you're just upset all the time and you're crying all the time, and maybe for some people it is like that, but personally for me, I feel nothing. I feel empty. And then I have brief points throughout the day where, I don't know, I'll feel guilty for feeling depressed, or I feel like there's no point to me and I'm just taking up space and resources. You alright there, love? I don't feel sad. I feel nothing. I mean, yesterday I did have a day where I was a little bit emotional and I was a little bit sad and a bit needy, but for the most part I just feel nothing. And I don't even know how to describe it to someone who hasn't been through the same thing. You feel like a robot. A defective robot. Like you can't even do the simplest things. Like a robot with a low battery. So for the past 5 days I haven't really gotten out of bed. I don't remember the last time I went outside. I think I've showered once or twice because I've had to, because it's been so hot. I haven't brushed my hair or my teeth. I get up to wee and that's it. But even eating a lot of the time is so much effort that I just can't be bothered. I go to, browse Twitter or watch some videos on YouTube, and I scroll down my newsfeed and I click on loads of different videos and end up clicking off them because I'm just not paying attention to it. I try and watch something on TV and I'm not paying attention to it. So I just kind of lie here and stare at certain points in my bedroom. Sometimes for an hour or so, or longer, until I fall asleep. I've tried reading. Like, having borderline personality disorder, you spend every day being so up and down and up and down and up and down and feeling so many different kinds of emotions, and it's exhausting and it's so horrible. And I don't mean to say that depression isn't horrendous, because it is, but for me, sometimes when I have a depressive episode, it's kind of like a break. It's kind of like I'm taking a holiday from my brain. I don't enjoy it because I'm very much not lazy. Like, even though I'm too ill to work at the moment, when I'm well, my house is immaculately clean. I keep up with all my journals, and I keep up with looking after the dog, and I read a lot, and I do embroidery and baking. I just do as many productive things as I can. So it is quite a struggle to feel like I can't even get up and go and take a piss. It's almost like being a child again. See, I have these times where I just stare at nothing. I don't fight the depressive episodes because, in my opinion and my experience anyway, I'm going to be depressed for as long as I'm going to be depressed, and fighting it and beating myself up and feeling horrible about myself does nothing other than make that period last longer. So I try to be as nice to myself as I can, instead of obsessing over the horrible. Do you mind seagulls? Instead of obsessing over the negative thoughts that you feel about yourself and putting yourself down, I try and use my mental energy to imagine my future and what I want to achieve in life, which is really hard when you're depressed, because when you're depressed all you can think about is, how useless you are and how hopeless everything is, and you don't see a future and you just want it all to end and be over, but that doesn't help anything. I used to be like that when I was younger, but the way I look at it now, I think because of the upbringing that I've had, and I've seen my mum go through depressive episodes, I kind of understand how they work, and I try to treat myself the same way that I treated my mum when she was unwell. And I would never tell my mum that she had no future and she was useless and hopeless and any of that. and I deserve better than that, so why would I treat myself like that? Don't get me wrong, there are times where it's very easy to slip into that, but you need to try to keep your brain occupied and think about the future, even if it seems like you're not going to have a future. You really need to push yourself and try to imagine how things are going to be once you get through this, because you will get through this. So I do little things, like I say, I imagine the kind of house I'm going to have in the future and how I'm going to decorate it, and like how I'm going to have my garden and the flowers I'm going to have in my garden, the wallpaper I'm going to have, the colour the walls are going to be. So that really helps me. I do little things, like other than mental tasks, I try to do little physical things, like, I don't know, I made myself this cup of tea, which was a massive achievement. And I changed my pants today. That's a big one. I put on a nice pair of comfy pants. And I've lit my Yankee candle, so my room smells nice. And all of these things take up a huge amount of mental and physical energy, and it feels like the biggest task in the world to do, but if you do little things like that just to make yourself feel just that tiny bit better, it really does help. So instead of beating yourself up and thinking, oh, I'm useless because I wasn't able to go out today, or I wasn't able to go and see my friends today, or I wasn't able to clean the house, you shouldn't think about the things that you haven't been able to do. You should think about the things that you have been able to do, even if it's just putting on a pair of clean pants or lighting a candle in your bedroom. That's, to me, that's amazing. And just enjoy wearing the comfy clean pants and enjoy the smell of your nice candle. Why is there so many seagulls here? We don't live anywhere near the sea. It is actually really nice to have a break from these mood swings and just feel nothing. I know for people that just struggle with depression, they'll probably hear this and they'll think, well, fuck you, depression is awful, I'd give anything to not feel this way. But when you've got borderline as well, sometimes it's just a nice break to feel emotionally numb. And maybe that's why I get depressive episodes every now and then. Maybe it is because of the mood swings that I need a break. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, before I came into this depressive episode, I did have a day or so of really intense mood swings. So this has probably been brought on by that. I was really hoping this morning I could wake up and I would feel a little bit better, and that I could go and have a shower and brush my teeth, do my makeup nice, and sit down and film a video, a structured video where I actually talk about something in a structured way, about something specific that makes sense. And then I woke up and I felt like this still. And I thought, I'm just going to lie in bed all day again. But then I thought, no, lie in bed all day but still make a video. Doesn't matter if you're not wearing makeup. This is what depression's like. So show people. So that's what I'm doing. I kind of feel like mentally I'm in one of those sensory deprivation tanks. My mind is very detached from my body at the moment, and my mind kind of feels nothing. And sometimes I just need to slap it and make it come back into my body. I know that sounds strange. People with depression or who have had depression in their lives will relate to this, and people that haven't had depression, they'll watch this video and they'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You are bonkers. I do sleep a lot when I'm depressed. I sleep a lot anyway, but when I'm depressed even more so. And it's annoying because I know that I don't need sleep and it gives me a headache sleeping so much, but there's only so much staring at a wall you can do. I don't know. Are there people with depression watching this that they do feel sad all the time when they have an episode? Or are you more like me where you feel nothing? I'd be really interested to know as well if there's anyone watching this that's got borderline and depression, if they feel the same way when they have a depressive episode. Like, do you feel like it's kind of a break from the ups and downs, or do you still get the ups and downs when you're depressed? I don't know. Because everyone experiences it in a different way, so it's hard to make, you know, it's hard to assume that everyone feels the same way. And you can't assume that everyone feels the same way. It's not like if you get a broken leg, I think most people, if they obviously had a fracture in the same place, they would probably experience the pain and, you know, the recovery the same way. But mental illness isn't like that. But I feel that's why there needs to be, you know, channels like this on YouTube and what everyone does on Twitter, just sharing how they feel, and everyone with their blogging sharing how they feel, just raising more awareness in general. And, you know, if someone can watch or read something that you've put out there about your mental illness and relate to it and not feel as alone, then that's amazing. But also at the same time, if someone can watch something like this and learn something new about a certain illness or something, then that's fantastic as well. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now, and I need to lie down because sitting up for too long is painful. No, it's not even 10 o'clock yet. I got up at like 6 o'clock this morning. I don't think I've eaten yet. Can't remember. Can't be arsed anyway. I'm gonna lie here and I'm probably gonna fall asleep, and I think I'll find a new spot to stare at for the next few hours. Oh, I found it. There's a little spot on our skirting. I think I'll stare at that for the next couple of hours. Anyway, if you don't see me talking much on Twitter either today or over the next couple of days, don't be surprised. I'm still here. I'm just lying in bed staring at the same spot. And I think it would be boring if I kept tweeting that I'd found a new spot to stare at every couple of hours or so. So I hope everyone's doing okay. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, guys.